Morning. I would like to call this regular board meeting to order on Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025. It's 11:14 a.m. We'll start with the land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that we are on Treaty 6 territory, a traditional meeting ground, gathering place, and traveling route to the Cree, Saulteaux, Blackfoot, Métis, Dene, Nakota Sioux, and Anishinaabe. We acknowledge all the many Indigenous nations, Métis and Inuit, whose footsteps have marked these lands for time immemorial. We respect the treaties that were made on these territories. We acknowledge the harms and mistakes of the past, and we dedicate ourselves to move forward in partnership with Indigenous communities in a spirit of reconciliation and collaboration. All right, so today we have Trustee Ware joining us online. For the purpose of voting, Trustee Ware, we will assume that you vote in the affirmative, and if you want to vote in opposition, raise your hand and we'll call on you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll begin with consideration of the agenda. Are there any additions or revisions to the agenda? Seeing none, we will move to the approval of the agenda. I'd seek a motion to approve the agenda as presented. Thank you, Trustee Johnson. Seconder, Trustee Morton. All in favor? Thank you. The agenda is approved as presented. Next up, we have a few minutes to approve. You have the regular board meeting minutes from November 19th in your package. Are there any errors or omissions noted? All right, seeing none, I would seek a motion to approve the minutes of November 19th regular board meeting as presented. Trustee Reich, seconder. Trustee Lethbridge, thank you. All in favor? Thank you. The minutes are approved as presented. You also have the special board meeting minutes from November 26 in your package. Are there any errors or omissions for that one? Seeing none, I would seek a motion to approve the special board meeting minutes of November 26 as presented. Thank you, Trustee Heitgart. Seconder. Trustee Potts, thank you. All in favor? Thank you. The minutes are approved as presented. All right, next up would be new business. I will now turn this item over. The naming of schools and school property policy will be turned over to Trustee Ware to speak.
Yeah, I just think that, so the motion that I'm going to make is that the creation of a naming of schools and school property be referred to governance. To the governance committee.
All right. Thank you, Trustee Ware. So Trustee Ware states that the creation of the naming of schools and school property be referred to the governance committee. Do I have a seconder? Thank you, Trustee Johnson. Any comments?
Yeah, sure. I'll speak to it. We often get requests to put somebody's name on a school or something, school property. And I think it's only fair to have something definitive to refer to, because we've done it in the past. We don't know if we want to continue doing that, and I think it deserves discussion.
Great. Thank you, Trustee Ware. Any other comments? Okay, seeing none, we will call the question. All in favor? Thank you. The motion is carried. Next up, committee report highlights. I will invite Trustee Wright to provide the Facility and Finance Committee highlights.
Thank you. Yeah, just a quick review for the Facility and Finance Committee meeting. So the standing items. So we just kind of went over quality, infrastructure maintenance, capital maintenance, vandalism report that was presented. The new item, which everybody was kind of into, was the Norwood updates. the concept drawings that were presented to the board there as well. Discussion on the Clear Vista sprinkler system update, the information that was presented, the CMR project list and building management system quotes. Here I'd like to recommend a motion that the CMR projects, the following CMR projects be completed. BMS panel upgrades for Alder Flats, Buck Mountain, and Queen Elizabeth schools.
Okay, thank you, Trustee Wright. Do I have a seconder to that motion? Thank you, Trustee Lethbridge. Any comments? Trustee Johnson?
Just for clarification, that's the building maintenance system panels?
That's correct.
Just so the public knows what we're talking about. And that's because all of our systems for our schools are monitored and run out of plant facilities office. And it works, so those things need to be taken care of.
Thank you, Trustee Johnson. Any other comments? Okay, thank you. So we have a motion on the floor that the following CMR projects be completed. EMS panel upgrades for Alder Flats, Buck Mountain, and Queen Elizabeth schools. All in favor? Thank you. The motion is carried.
Continuing on, the Griffith Scott Playground and Accessibility Ramp presented by Secretary Treasurer C4 Reid. Final design quotes have been requested for the ramp and we brought forward to the next committee meeting. Overall playground design has been approved by the parent council. The administration has been consulted on placement. A sponsor board was discussed instead of renaming of that. We discussed the October 2025 financial statements. New items, the MNP presented the detailed review of the audited financial statements from Benji Wasser. The 25-26 enrollment information referred to the meeting for today.
Trustee Wright. Trustee Wright, I think Trustee
Yeah,
Johnson.
I was just gonna make a comment that the August 31st financial statements were taken back to the board, and that was the special board meeting motion was to approve those financial statements as presented.
The 25-26 revised budget deferred to the facility finance meeting. 25-26 insurance renewal. Secretary Treasurer Reid provided the board with a brief explanation of the ARMIC. Can we get a breakdown of what that?
The Alberta Risk Managed Insurance Authority.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Confirmed overall reduction in insurance costs of 10% for this year. Next item, the Wetaskiwin Wrestling Club funding request. They requested funds of $17,913.72 used towards the purchase of new wrestling mats. Here I'd like to recommend a motion that the funding request from the wrestling club be approved.
Thank you, Trustee Wright. Do I have a seconder? Trustee Johnson. Any comments? Trustee Johnson.
Just that the wrestling club has been essential in Wetaskiwin. There's been a lot of our athletes have trained with that wrestling club, and so I don't believe they've ever asked for anything in the years that they've run. So this, I believe they deserve to have the proper mats for competitions and different things that they can run now that we have the facilities for. So I think it's a wise expenditure.
Any other comments? Okay, seeing none. Motion on the floor is that the funding request from Wetaskiwin Wrestling Club be approved. All in favor? All right, thank you. Carried.
On to the request for temporary lease reduction. Request received by Children's Indoor Play Society CHIPS to reduce their monthly lease by $400 for the remainder of their term through May 2026 due to some financial constraint. Information was provided by Secretary Treasurer CFO Reid with an analysis of Glenmoran's operating costs for consideration. I'd like to recommend a motion again that the request for temporary lease reduction from Children's Indoor Play Society CHIPS be denied.
Trustee Wright, do I have a second? Trustee Johnson, any comments? Seeing none, the motion on the floor is that the request for temporary lease reduction from Children's Indoor Play Society be denied. All in favor? Thank you, that is carried.
Further business services update is deferred to the December 3rd meeting today. Transportation services update was deferred to December 3rd, and then the meeting was adjourned to 3:20 p.m. Recommended that the minutes of the Facilities and Finance Committee meeting of November 19, 2025 be accepted as presented.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Okay, all in favor? Okay, thank you, carried. Thank you, Trustee Wright. Next up, we will move to board representative reports, and we're going to start with Council School Councils. Trustee Wright.
Council School Councils meeting on November 26th. The minutes were adopted. Motion to adopt the minutes was made by Trustee Hiker and seconded by Carolyn Schwint. We moved on to the board report. There was really no business carrying forward as this was the first meeting of the year. Superintendent Wake provided some information and we shared the October and November board report links to everybody that was on the meeting, and then a link to the government outline for the class size and complexity report. We didn't really dig too much into that. We did make note of the great work that central office team did to put that together in time. Further to that, in that meeting, we discussed a parent-student forum. So a roundtable discussion, organizing that with parents and students. A potential date was selected for Thursday, April 16th, and then be further discussion to be had with the principals. The new school design phase stated that was referred to the facilities and finance meeting. Schematics will be shared out with the public in the new year. We highlighted some information from Alberta School Councils Association, ASCA, with some of their learning opportunities, specifically highlighting the school council purpose and the tools for effective school council, just from previous experience, and some members have taken those courses in the past. We discussed school council attendees to discuss the trustee engagement with school councils and attending meetings. Governance committee will undertake a review of that policy in the future. Superintendent report provided by Superintendent Wake highlighted the calendar adjustment in response to the job action. Arts newsletter went out, highlighted the Wetaskiwin Hockey Academy Fall newsletter and Smash Ball with those events in the city on November 20th at Cole Place and out west at Winfield November 26th. September 30th enrollment information was shared as well. Discussion with paths and diplomas that they've been canceled for students over up to January, correct? Correct. Quick highlight on Bill 6 was shared. The AP on fairness and safety in sport. Further information on the literary collections. There's some discussion during the meeting there as well. School council representative reports. Always the highlight of that meeting. School councils shared some of the updates, very well received with some of the Smash Ball tournaments and events that were happening in schools. Sounds like as a whole, there's been a little more parental engagement across schools. And school councils are deep into fundraising. There was 4 or 5 discussions on large fundraising events, including casinos. So lots of fundraising money should be coming in this year for those school councils. Discussed for the next meeting, more information on the Alberta School Council Engagement Grant, specifically on how those funds can be used by school councils moving forward. And then the meeting was adjourned at 8:01.
All right, thank you, Trustee Wright. I will now call on Trustee Ware. Trustee Ware, do you have a report for the Public School Boards Association of Alberta?
Yes, I do. I would like to just say that we went to the fall conference at AGM. The AGM is a confidential meeting, but everybody reported. All the executive had their reports, and there was an election of a new executive. There's a nice picture in your advocate, and if you want to go familiarize yourself with the new executive. We also had a day of professional development with Tom Thompson. It was great. It generated great discussion, but I'll just leave you with three important things that he talked about. So as a board, as a new trustee, if you don't do anything else, do this. Define your vision and create outcomes to support that. He said, if you don't have time to do it right the first time, you must have time to do it over and over again. That was pretty good. And policy is law. So one of our main jobs is building law. It comes from our diligence. It comes up through committee. It's discussed, debated, disagreed with, altered, crafted, and captured with the pen. So this is our job, is creating policy, and it's our legacy. So if you want to see your legacy, take a look at your policy manual today and then 4 years from today. So it was really good. So I encourage anybody, if you can make those conferences, come join us next time. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Trustee Ware. Next up is Trustee Lethbridge with a report on the Yellowhead Regional Library.
The new board was elected for the 26-27 year. There will be a new trustee and alternate orientation tour on January 26th at Yellowhead Regional Library. If we can attend, they will come to us. There will be a conversation then about the master membership agreement. The Stronger Together Library Conference is in October 2026, dates to be determined. Lots of conversation about the moving of track to cloud-based information regarding privacy and cost. Was determined that the move would be a cost savings. The meeting was big and overwhelming, and I'm still trying to catch up.
Thank you very much, Trustee Lethbridge. All right, moving on to my board chair report. Starting with the good news item, we had a Smash Ball tournament division-wide. And November 20th was City of Wetaskiwin. November 26th was the west side of the school division. It was a great event, as our superintendent is so famous of saying. The kids were a hot, sweaty mess, and they loved it. Who doesn't like an underdog, right? So Centennial School, they won the Smash Ball.
They were in the ring.
They were in the running.
They did very well.
They did very well for a small school. So who doesn't like an underdog story? And there was a great picture. I wish we had it up here of one of the competitors who had like war paint on their face. Very competitive, you could tell. So that is great. I also wanted to provide an update regarding recently introduced provincial legislation. And as you all know, provincial legislation, it can be a bit of a huge document. So I've done my best to summarize it accurately. Government of Alberta has introduced Bill 13, Regulated Professions Neutrality Act, which applies to all regulated professions, including Alberta certified teachers and teacher leaders. Bill 13 is intended to create consistent rules for professional regulators and to protect the freedom of expression of regulated professionals. If passed, the legislation would restrict mandatory training to areas directly related to professional competence or ethics and would limit when off-duty expressive conduct can be subject to discipline while still ensuring student safety and protecting public interest. Importantly, Bill 13 will take precedence over parts of the Education Act, meaning updates to regulations and standards that impact the education sector are expected. Alberta Education will be reviewing and adjusting related policies to ensure alignment with the new act, and school authorities will receive further information once the bill is proclaimed. And that is my board chair report. I will now turn the floor over to Superintendent Wake for the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Chair Dorsis. So good news items as well to continue that. Just a big thanks to Buck Mountain and West Tasman Comp High School, along working with Jane Gustall, has coordinated with the Health Foundation to display art for our students in hospital rooms for patients to view. The artwork will be showcased from January to June. So just thank you, and once again, great celebration of our students' work and helping that piece. Also, just another good news item. If you haven't had a chance, get out and vote at Malik Center. The Christmas tree, the Festival of Trees is out there. We do have a tree, and special thanks to Christine and Alicia who did the decorations and on that tree. So just a fantastic part around that. Also, another item for good news is the Christmas concert. So I've had attached to my report all the Christmas concerts that are out there. It's great to see that we're in that holiday season, and I know schools it is December, so they're busy practicing. So big thanks to not just the students for putting their skills on display, but to our staff for helping out, and to our parents. Like every Christmas concert I go to, without our parent involvement, it wouldn't be a success, but they're always great to see on there. Also, just another good news item, just Hope Mission and the support they provided during the fall break. I don't think I was able to speak to it enough, but with the fact that we were able to feed some of our students during the fall break that wanted the nutrition, and then working with our MHCB team, as well as some of our staff that during the break provided some time to help support students. So just another good news item there, and all the good work that our staff and families and students work together to provide. I have a few items for information. First and foremost, Chair Dorchester, is the information around to address the classroom complexity. So this task force was a bit different than the one that was just formed after the job action. And I just think from an advocacy standpoint, it's a good opportunity for you as trustees to continue your advocacy and continue your conversations with your provincial partners throughout the province, but also with your MLAs and so forth, because at the end of the day, like some of the recommendations that came from that group was developing class size criteria and hiring additional teachers and EAs. So I think it's a conversation that you as school board, I know this school board will continue to keep going, but also working through your Zone 4 Rural Caucus and other advocacy items there. The other key part around the coordinating and communicating across ministries to help families. I think it's a conversation that has been sort of on throughout the last few years, but it's just once again, you as a board will continue to advocate to make sure that cross-ministry conversation needs to happen, but also with action items. And the other key recommendation for this information item was just the expanding of the program unit funding to help families prior to they entering into grade 1, right? Removing barriers so that if they're in fact families are looking for assistance and so forth, they're being able to get that, right? And I know there are some geographical challenges and lots of travel required, especially for schools in our school division in rural Alberta, but anything they can do to help families navigate prior to entering into the grade 1 system, I think would be great. So looking forward for more of that conversation. Also attached for information is the WHA fall newsletter. I also attached for information, there was correspondence sent out to all our schools from the superintendent's office to our principals to share with their teachers. So this past week we had a town hall meeting. Obviously I did not attend, but I'm hopeful that a lot of the teachers in Alberta did attend that to have an opportunity to have their voice be heard. I also attached for information, education funding analysis and analytics information bulletin. This is something that school boards and school divisions do each year and sending their projection in the department. I think there's going to be a bit more work on this end. meaning like more conversation with government to see how that translates. I also attached a newsletter from our ISSP program that's based out of Centennial, and it's just in support of students with mental health and well-being. So that is it for my report, Chair Dorchester.
All right, thank you, Superintendent Wake. Moving on to upcoming events, we have, I believe, an Education Committee meeting on December 10th. And we have a regular board meeting December 17th. And I believe following that, we should have a Governance Committee meeting as well. So those are some of the upcoming events. And I believe that concludes our agenda for today. I would seek a motion to adjourn the meeting. Thank you, Trustee Heikert. Seconder. Thank you, Trustee Norton. All in favor? Thank you. The meeting is adjourned.